Hi, everyone. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Marlena.
And I'm Rachel.
We're researchers from the University of Melbourne. Today, we'd like to tell you a bit about ourselves, why we're doing this project, and how you can be involved. I trained as a social worker, and now I do research and teach social work. I love both roles. I get to meet so many people and hear from them about such different life experiences. I've worked with people in hospitals with complex health conditions, through to hearing from people about their experiences following disasters like bushfires. The research I do helps me think and talk to our students about how social workers and other health and human service workers can support people going through similar experiences, and how we can support people with issues that they care about and work in ways that they find useful. That's why I'm so grateful to BIM for wanting to do this research and helping us shape what this project looks like, and why I think this project and the chance to learn from you is so valuable.
I'm an occupational therapist who's worked in brain injury rehabilitation for many years. Like Lauren, I'm involved in both research and clinical work. My research is very broad and it includes designing robots to help with rehabilitation, but I'm mostly interested in ways to support health services and health professionals to use research and evidence in everyday clinical practice. I'm really excited about this project with BIM for multiple reasons. I've specialised in brain injury rehabilitation, so this topic is relevant to my clinical work. And I'm excited to learn about people's experience of peer-led support groups and the impact that it may have had on their lives.
I'm a qualified social worker with experience as a research assistant, specifically in doing interviews with people of varying abilities and from different social demographic backgrounds. I'm currently doing a PhD, but also still working as a social worker in a few different settings. My passion is in advocating for improved resourcing and funding for marginalised populations. I'm looking forward to meeting with the participants in this study and learning more about the Brain Injury Matters support groups. The rest of this video is about 10 to 15 minutes long. We'll go through the information covered in our information sheet. So if you prefer to read that, then you can stop the video here and download the PDF instead. We'll cover exactly the same information in the PDF as we will in this video. So Lauren, can you tell us what this research is about?
Of course. With this project, we want to understand the role of peer support groups in the lives of adults with acquired brain injury. We also want to learn about what makes a peer-led peer support group a success. We hope to share these findings with organizations that might offer peer support groups, people who might be wondering whether they'd like to attend a peer support group, and with healthcare professionals and others who might be involved in supporting similar groups.
Okay. And for someone thinking about whether they might like to participate, what will participation involve?
Participating will mean doing an interview with either of us or Marlena to share your thoughts about the peer support groups held by Brain Injury Matters. We're hoping to speak to people from each of the different groups and people with different experiences. If you're interested in participating in this research, the first step is to let us know. You can do that through the online form or by emailing or calling me. My details are on the website and in the information statement. Then we'll be in touch with you to arrange a time for the interview or to let you know if we've already spoken to enough people from your group. When we're arranging a time, we'll also ask if you mind answering a few questions about yourself. For example, we'll ask about your age, gender, and some questions about your brain injury. We ask these so we can describe the group of people who participate, but we won't describe you or anyone else individually. You also don't have to answer any questions you don't want to. This conversation will take about 15 minutes, or if you prefer, you can fill this out using an online form. Then we'll meet with you either online or possibly in person to do the interview.
And so what happens in an interview?
In the interview, we'll ask people questions about their experiences in relation to BIM's peer support groups. So for example, there'll be questions about how you use the peer support groups, any changes you might have experienced since joining your group, what you think about the way your group runs, if there are any challenges for you in attending the groups, or things that help you to attend. If you have different ways that you know work best for you in communicating in a situation like an interview, we'd love it if you shared those with us before the interview. So for example, when we're talking to arrange a time to meet. At the interview, you can have a support worker or a family member with you if you'd like. We'll ask your permission to audio record the interview so that we don't forget anything that you've told us. You can let us know and skip any questions if you don't want to talk about them. We can pause and take breaks at any point. We can even continue the interview on another day if you'd prefer. And you can also change your mind and tell us you'd like to stop the interview at any point.
How long do you think an interview will take?
I think the conversation will take around 1 hour, but it'll depend on how much you want to share and whether you'd like to take breaks.
All right, thanks. And when and where will the interview take place?
We'll do our best to find a day and time that works for each participant. We'll do the interviews online using Zoom video conferencing, which we can help you set up and use if you haven't done before. And it actually looks a lot like what we're doing here in this video, but you'll have some buttons at the bottom to use different features. Or if you prefer, we may be able to find a place to do the interview in person. This could be at one of our city locations or possibly at the neighborhood house where your group meets.
Is there anything else that might be of interest?
Well, people who do an interview will receive a $50 gift card to thank them for their time. If a support worker attends with you, the gift card will include $30 an hour to help with offsetting the cost of their services.
Okay, and one really important question is, do people have to do an interview?
No, not at all. It's completely your choice. Even if you start an interview and then change your mind, you can tell us if you'd like to stop that interview at any time. No one will think badly about you if you don't want to be involved in this research. And importantly, the decision either way won't affect your relationship with Brain Injury Matters. BIM won't actually know whether you've participated or not.
And will people who participate get to know about the research findings?
Yes, there are a couple of opportunities for this. So we're planning to do around 15 to 18 interviews with people, and we hope to speak to about 3 people from each of the peer support groups, and some who haven't been to peer support before. Once we've completed all of the interviews and thought carefully about what everyone's told us, we'll summarize the findings into themes. This may take us several months to do. But at the end of the interview, we'll ask if you'd like to see a draft summary of the early findings to tell us what you think about the themes we develop. So once the draft is ready, we'll send it to you by email. You'll have 2 weeks to let us know any thoughts or ideas you had when reading the findings if you want to. We'll also ask if you'd like to be sent the final summary of findings at the very end of the project.
I'd like us to talk a bit now about how the research is being done. What are we going to do with the information that we collect?
The interviews will be audio recorded and then typed out by a professional service. We'll have a privacy agreement in place with the service we use to do this. Everything we collect will be kept on computers at the University of Melbourne that only the 3 of us have access to. All the personal information you give us will be kept confidential, meaning the details will be kept private. And you can let us know if you'd like to see our record of the information you've given us. Because Marlena, Rachel, and I are from the University of Melbourne, we're independent of BIM, even though BIM asked us to do this research. That means only us researchers at the University of Melbourne will know who participated, and BIM won't have access to any personal identifiable information collected for this project. The findings of the research will be written into a report, and we hope to publish it in a journal and talk about it in presentations with other people who are interested. All the information, recordings, and written records will be disposed of in a confidential manner 5 years after the last research publication.
Are there benefits for people who take part in this research?
Well, we can't promise you'll personally benefit from it if you choose to do an interview. But some people find sharing your thoughts and experiences can be a nice reflective activity and can feel good. More broadly, the findings might help Brain Injury Matters think about how they run their peer support program. The findings may also help other organizations in providing peer support.
Are there risks that people who might take part should know about?
We think there are a few things that could happen that people should be aware of, but we've tried to keep the chance of these happening low. If you think of any others, we hope you'll let us know. The ones we've thought of are, first, that we know people might get tired during an interview. We can take breaks or finish the interview on a different day or stop the interview if that happens. We'll check in with you during the interview, so please let us know if you feel tired. There's also a chance you may feel sad or uncomfortable in talking about your experiences. If you let us know, we can support you if this happens. But you also don't have to talk about anything you don't want to. Before participating, though, you might want to think about if there's anyone you would like to talk to if you do happen to feel upset after the interview. For example, you might have family or a friend who can often make you feel better when you're upset. Or you might like to contact your GP to be put in touch with someone who can help. Services like Beyond Blue are available 24 hours a day. Their phone number is 1-300-224-636, and their website is www.beyondblue.org.au. The other thing is, when we talk and write about the project so others can know what we find, it helps us show how important it is if we can quote bits of what the participants have told us. We'll be careful not to include any information that seems unique to you without asking you. That way, it's less likely someone else will recognize you from a quote, unless you're okay with that. However, it's still possible that someone who knows you well might be able to tell. If you have concerns about this before or after an interview, please let me know.
Who is organising and funding this research?
I'm leading this project with Marlena and Rachel, and we all work in the School of Health Sciences at the University of Melbourne. The research is being funded by the Melbourne Disability Institute. Brain Injury Matters asked us to do this research and has helped us design the project. However, they will not have access to any personal information shared as part of the project.
That's a lot of information. If people have any questions, who can they contact?
You're very welcome to get in touch with any of us if you have questions about this project and anything we've talked about today. Our email addresses are detailed in the information statement, or you can reach me by phone at 03-8344-6489. You're also welcome to contact Peter Persson at Brain Injury Matters if you'd like to confirm that BIM invited us to do this research.
Is there someone that people can talk to if they would like to make a complaint about this research?
Of course, and that's important. If anyone would like to make a complaint about this research, they can talk to the Ethics Committee at the University of Melbourne. They can call the Ethics Committee on 03-8344-2073 or email them at humanethics-complaints@unimelb.edu.au. The identification number for this project is 26052. Those details are also in the information statement.
Excellent. Well, we hope we've covered the key information that you might find useful.
Thanks for listening to us today. We look forward to hearing from you with any questions or if you're interested in speaking to us in an interview.
Thank you.